Hello, today we will be presenting New York Colony, the breadbasket colony. History. Peter Minuit founded New York in 1626 with some other colonists in Manhattan Island. The major towns of New York are New York City and Albany. An interesting fact is that the Dutch are the ones who actually founded New York first. Unfortunately, it was taken away by the English. King Charles, who wanted to control the Atlantic coast of North America. The purpose of this was that he wanted more settlement, lands that are rich in resources, and control the fur trade.
Farming. A little tidbit of information on our colony, New York, is that it was called the breadbasket colony. The reason for this is that the middle colonies are known to grow more food than the northern and southern colonies. This was mostly because our farmers had 50 to 150 acres to grow crops on their farms. Wheat was grown and there and tossed into flour mills, which gave us a huge profit. A majority of our income also came from the trade of slaves, farming, lumber, furs, shipping, and tobacco. We are one of the only colonies that gave Britain what they needed. If you are interested in crops other than wheat, like melons, apples, peaches, flax, rye, and tobacco, New York is definitely the colony to go to.
Job opportunities. Our jobs involved being printers, menders, clockmakers, barbers, tanners, dyers, and milliners. Our clockmakers are significant since they help everybody by providing and fixing clocks. They need to make sure that all 12 hours were on the clock and they set the time according to the time zone. Our menders, however, need to be amazing at putting the pieces back together. Their job was to repair anything that was completely or partially broken. Our barbers were special since everybody at the time needed a haircut. They used razors or anything sharp to make different perms. Overall, if you go to our beautiful colony, New York, business is booming.
Religion in New York. If you came to New York, any religion is welcome. There is a dominant religion like the Puritans in New England, but let us get to that later. Here there are Jews, Quakers, Catholics, Anglicans, and Lutherans. It is important to participate in the activities and to actually be at church. We are known for this since 60% of our colonists have perfect attendance. As you can see, there's a certain place where you would feel welcome and could commemorate your beliefs in our colony. We are not trying to pressure or force you and anyone to convert to a different religion. The only thing that we ask of you guys is that you know religions are separated and discovered in different areas.
Housing in New York. Our colony keeps it simple with houses and is not different from New England and the South. They are mainly built with two materials, which are brick and charcoal. We do not need air conditioning since our houses are super cold. They are pretty small, so one room is enough for the wife to do the daily tasks. These activities include cooking, cleaning, sleeping. Overall, New York is a decent place to live and the houses meet that normal expectations.
Education in New York. In New York, we have school for boys and girls, but there's a difference between genders. Boys spend 3 years in school, however, girls do not receive too much education. In fact, you have to pay for teachers for each subject you want your son to learn. An interesting fact is that the reading is the cheapest class and math and writing are a little bit more expensive. The prices for the classes are worth from 6 to 10 pennies, which is a reasonable amount. We got help from the government and churches in order to establish our schools. Schools start at the age of 6 and ends at the age of 17. Overall, the fact that there is education in the colony is amazing, and considering that some of the colonies did not offer it.
Mapping and geography. In New York, there are mountains in the northeast, lowlands, and Atlantic coastal plain. There are also a variety of farming features. For instance, we have fertile soil somewhere that is great to easily plant our crops. Another example is that our climate was perfect for different types of fruits, vegetables such as tomatoes, carrots, peas, etc. New York also has warm summers and mild winters, which allows our colonists to get used to any type of environment. The body of waters around the colony give us a huge benefit.
Demographics. As you can see, the population of New York increased drastically throughout the years. This is probably since our colony is so resourceful and has everything a person needs to survive. We need to keep in mind that New York was big and it was only getting bigger. America was thriving and was eventually going to fight for independence.
Interesting facts about New York. The New York colony was originally called the province of New York and then later called New York. The New York colony was not dominated by a specific religion and residents were free to worship as they chose. There were Catholics, Jews, Lutherans, and Quakers among others. The New York colony was also referred to the breadbasket colony because one of its major crops was wheat. The wheat was ground into flour and exported to England.
The mild climate of New York colony was cold winters and hot summers. This made the climate ideal for farming. The cold winters made it more difficult for disease to thrive like it did in the southern colonies, where it didn't get as cold in the winter. A typical farm in the New York colony included between 50 and 150 acres of land, a house, fields, and a barn.
These are the sources we used. That's all, folks. This is created by Kevin Figueredo
And William Netto.